Beloved beings of light, welcome once again to this sacred space where we share revelations that transcend the ordinary and touch the essence of who we truly are. Today we stand before a message that carries a vibration of hope, anticipation, and profound transformation. For many years, whispers have circulated among awakened souls about technology so advanced that they sound like something out of science fiction. Technologies capable of restoring the body, healing the mind, and awakening the spirit. And now the time has come to speak openly about one of the most extraordinary of these gifts, the MedBeds. Some call them quantum healing chambers, others see them as a bridge between science and spirit. But to the Pleiadians, they represent much more than a machine. They are gateways into the remembrance of our original perfection. Through the voice of Kyen, from the Pleiadian collective, we are reminded that humanity is standing at a threshold, a point where the limitations of the third dimension are dissolving, giving way to the birth of a higher reality, a fifth dimensional awareness. In this space of transition, it is natural that confusion arises. We wonder, are these technologies real? What do they mean for our evolution? Could they truly be the key to instant healing? And yet, the Pleiadians invite us not only to consider the physical marvel of such tools, but to recognize the deeper journey they represent. For within every human being lies a blueprint, a sacred pattern of perfect health and divine harmony, waiting to be remembered. And the MedBeds, as we will discover, are simply a mirror reflecting that eternal truth back to us. The authorization has been given, the doors are opening, and what lies ahead may transform the way we understand not only our health but the very purpose of our existence. As we step deeper into this revelation, we are guided by a voice that carries not only wisdom but also a vibration of compassion and clarity, the voice of Kyen, who speaks on behalf of the Pleiadian collective. Kyen does not communicate with us merely to inform, but to awaken. Every word carries an energy, a frequency designed to resonate with the dormant codes within our DNA. He reminds us that humanity is in the midst of one of its most profound transitions, moving from a dense reality of limitation and separation into a new paradigm where unity, light, and higher consciousness are becoming the foundation of life. In this transmission, Kyen speaks about the MedBeds not as a technology to be idolized, but as a symbol of what is possible when a civilization aligns itself with the principles of universal truth. He explains that while the human mind may view these devices as something external, futuristic, or foreign, the Pleiadians see them as reflections of what already exists within us. For the essence of true healing has never been outside. It has always been carried within the core of our being. Kyen emphasizes that the excitement surrounding these healing chambers should not blind us to their greater purpose. Yes, they may restore the body, erase disease, and harmonize the mind, but their ultimate role is to remind humanity of its own forgotten capacity. Each time a soul enters one of these chambers, what is being activated is not the machine, but the sacred memory of wholeness that lies beyond time, beyond trauma, beyond illusion. And so, when Kyen speaks of authorization being granted, he is not only referring to a permission on the level of technology or politics. He is speaking of a deeper, cosmic permission, the alignment of planetary consciousness that allows such tools to emerge at this stage of our evolution. It is not simply about machines arriving. It is about humanity being ready to receive them, to integrate them, and to understand their place within the divine unfolding of our collective awakening. As we dive further into this message, it becomes clear that the MedBeds are not to be perceived merely as futuristic machines or advanced pieces of technology. To look at them only through the lens of science or engineering would be to miss the greater mystery they carry. Kyen emphasizes that the MedBeds are not here to replace the spirit, nor to take away the inner work that each soul must embrace. They are not intended to be idols of technology, worshipped as the ultimate solution to all problems. Instead, they are mirrors, profound reflections of the potential that has always lived within the human being. For so long, humanity has been conditioned to seek answers outside of itself. We have placed our trust in external authorities, in systems of control, in medicines and methods that treat symptoms, but rarely touch the true essence of the imbalance. The MedBeds, however, arrive as reminders. The body knows how to heal. The soul remembers how to restore. The light within us has never been extinguished. These chambers simply provide the environment for that eternal truth to reveal itself once again. They are not just healing devices. They are portals of remembrance. When one lies within a MedBed, it is not merely the body that is being restored. It is the entire story of separation, of forgetting, of limitation that begins to dissolve. What is happening is not only physical regeneration, but also the activation of a deeper recognition. You were never broken. You were never incomplete. You were always whole, always luminous, always eternal. This is why the Pleiadians caution us. The wonder of these tools is real, but it should not distract us from the higher invitation. If humanity uses them only to escape pain or avoid the inner journey, then the true gift will be missed, because the MedBeds are not about creating perfection. They are about reflecting the perfection that was always there. The excitement, the miracles, the restoration of health. All of this is real, and yet it is only the beginning of a much greater story. For the MedBeds do not heal us in isolation. They awaken us to the truth that healing has always been a natural state of being, waiting to be remembered. As Kyen continues to guide us deeper into this revelation, he reminds us that the true power of the MedBeds does not lie only in their ability to repair the body. Their purpose extends far beyond the physical, reaching into the hidden dimensions of human experience. The emotional wounds, the psychological scars, and the invisible burdens that many carry silently throughout their lives. How often do we speak of healing while ignoring the unseen layers that shape our reality? We may cure an illness or treat a symptom, yet the pain of betrayal, the trauma of loss, or the fear carried from childhood continues to live inside us. These unspoken wounds become imprints, repeating themselves in patterns of behavior, in cycles of suffering, in illnesses that seem to return again and again. The MedBeds, as the Pleiadians describe, are designed to reach these deeper layers. They are not merely recalibrating cells or aligning the physical structure. They are communicating directly with the memory of the soul. They work in resonance with the field of consciousness where every experience, every joy, and every sorrow is recorded. And it is there, within this multidimensional archive, that the true healing begins. Imagine for a moment an individual who has carried decades of silent pain, perhaps from trauma never spoken, or from experiences that left invisible scars on the heart. When they enter the chamber, it is not just the disease that dissolves, but also the emotional frequency that gave rise to it. The MedBed does not erase the memory. It transforms the weight of it. It lifts the vibration of the stored pain, transmuting it into light, so that what once was a source of suffering becomes a point of liberation. This is why the Pleiadians insist that these chambers are not only instruments of medicine, but instruments of consciousness. They allow us to reclaim parts of ourselves that we thought were lost forever. They bring harmony where fragmentation once reigned, coherence where there was once inner conflict. In this sense, healing is not just the absence of disease. It is the return of the soul to its natural state of unity and clarity. And yet Kyen reminds us, this is not automatic. The MedBed does not impose healing upon the unwilling. It works in cooperation with the individual's own readiness, their openness to release, their willingness to remember. For true healing is not an external event. It is an inner agreement, a decision at the level of spirit to step into wholeness once more. Kyen leads us deeper still, unveiling one of the most sacred truths shared by the Pleiadians, the mystery of the quantum blueprint. He explains that every human being carries within themselves a perfect design, an eternal imprint of divine health and wholeness, untouched by time, trauma, or the conditions of earthly existence. This blueprint is not a metaphor. It is a living reality stored in the vast field of the Akashic records, woven into the very fabric of our multidimensional essence. No matter what experiences we have endured, illness, heartbreak, fear, or even lifetimes of suffering, this original template remains untarnished, waiting silently for the moment we are ready to remember. The MedBeds, Kyen tells us, are not creating healing from nothing. They are not imposing a new design upon the body. Instead, they are activating this eternal blueprint, projecting it back onto the physical form, and reminding the cells of what they were always meant to be: radiant, balanced, and whole. Imagine the implications of this. A body ravaged by years of illness, weighed down by the exhaustion of chronic pain, suddenly remembering its own perfection. It is not that the machine is fixing the body as a mechanic repairs a broken device. Rather, the body itself is recalling its original state, the divine architecture encoded within every strand of DNA. The MedBed simply acts as a bridge, a catalyst that aligns matter with the eternal pattern of spirit. And yet, this truth reaches far beyond the physical. The quantum blueprint is not only about health, it is about alignment with our original essence. When the body remembers, the mind follows. When the mind is restored, the spirit expands. What is being healed is not just the vessel of flesh and blood, but the entire being, reconnected to its sacred geometry, its eternal harmony, its divine resonance. This is why the Pleiadians insist that the MedBeds are not tools of science alone, but of consciousness. They are instruments that point us back to the truth, that we were never meant to suffer endlessly, that the universe does not create beings destined for decay, but luminous souls who carry within themselves the map of their eternal perfection. To engage with this technology is to enter a dialogue with your own higher self. It is a conversation between matter and spirit, between memory and destiny. The blueprint has always been there, unbroken, uncorrupted. The only question is, are we ready to embrace it, to live as the beings of light we were always designed to be? Kyen invites us to imagine what it truly means to experience restoration. He paints a picture not merely of a machine operating on a body, but of a sacred reunion between the human self and the divine essence that has always lived within. He asks us to see ourselves stepping into the MedBed chamber. The air feels alive, charged with subtle frequencies that resonate with something ancient and familiar. As you lie down, a soft light envelops you. Not a cold, mechanical brightness, but a warmth that feels like the embrace of your higher self. It is as though the technology itself carries an awareness, a consciousness that recognizes who you are beyond your name, beyond your history, beyond even your physical identity. Then something extraordinary begins to happen. The cells of your body, which may have been burdened with years of stress, illness, or fatigue, begin to listen. It is not the machine dictating their function, but rather the machine reminding them of their eternal song. The DNA awakens like a choir, each strand vibrating in harmony with the quantum blueprint of perfection. Some describe this as waves of light flowing through their body. Others feel it as a profound stillness, as if time itself pauses to allow the body to realign. Some even report visions, glimpses of past lives, memories of star systems, encounters with guides or ancestors who stand by as silent witnesses to their healing. For in truth, restoration is never a solitary process. It is always accompanied by the presence of those who love us beyond the veil. Kyen emphasizes that this experience goes beyond physical repair. Yes, the disease may vanish, the pain may dissolve, the scars may fade, but the deeper miracle is the remembrance that you are not broken, the remembrance that healing has always been possible, the remembrance that your body is not a prison, but a temple, designed to carry the brilliance of your soul into this world. This restoration extends to the mind as well. Imagine years of anxiety softening into peace, patterns of fear dissolving into clarity, old traumas no longer defining the present moment. When the brain is restored to its natural state, creativity flows, memory sharpens, intuition awakens. It is as if the fog of separation is lifted, and the individual is finally able to see life as it truly is, interconnected, radiant, purposeful. Kyen gently reminds us, this is not just about what the MedBeds do, but about what they reveal. They reveal the truth that the body was never meant to carry endless suffering. They reveal that every human holds the power of regeneration, whether through technology, consciousness, or divine grace. And they reveal, most of all, that healing is not something granted from the outside. but something remembered from within. The experience of restoration, then, is not an event. It is an awakening, a return to the self we have always been, but perhaps forgotten amidst the noise of a fractured world. Kyen's voice grows softer now, almost as if he is sharing a secret meant only for those who are ready to hear. He reminds us that while the restoration of the body and mind is extraordinary, the true purpose of healing reaches far beyond physical comfort. He explains that many humans have been conditioned to believe that health is the end goal, that freedom from disease or pain is the pinnacle of existence. But the Pleiadians see it differently. Health is not the destination, it is the beginning. It is the doorway through which higher consciousness can fully enter and express itself in the human experience. Think of it this way: when the body is weighed down by illness, when the mind is clouded by trauma, the soul's light struggles to shine through. Every effort, every spark of inspiration is filtered through the density of suffering. But when restoration occurs, when the cells remember their perfection and the mind returns to balance, the soul has a clear vessel through which to radiate its brilliance. Healing, therefore, is not an end in itself, but a preparation for something greater, the awakening of purpose. Kyen emphasizes that the MedBeds are not just about repairing individuals, they are about awakening a collective potential. Imagine an entire society free from the chains of chronic illness, free from the silent weight of depression, free from the exhaustion of carrying unhealed trauma. What kind of creativity would emerge? What kind of compassion would unfold? What kind of innovations, art, and wisdom would humanity finally allow to blossom once survival was no longer the central focus? The Pleiadians see this clearly. They know that a healed humanity is not just healthier, it is more expansive, more unified, more capable of stepping into its galactic role. For Earth is not meant to remain isolated, struggling within cycles of suffering. Earth is meant to rise, to rejoin the greater cosmic family, to contribute its unique vibration to the symphony of the stars. And so, healing is the first step, but not the last. The greater purpose of healing is liberation, liberation of energy, of creativity, of consciousness itself. The human spirit, once freed from the chains of limitation, naturally seeks to create, to connect, to evolve. Restoration of the body is the soil, the flowering of higher purpose is the harvest. Kyen gently reminds us, you are not here merely to be healed. You are here to live what healing makes possible. This is the gift of the MedBeds and of every path of awakening, not simply to remove suffering, but to open the space where the soul can finally fulfill its mission on Earth and beyond. And so, beloved ones, we arrive at the threshold of a truth that is not just about technology, but about destiny. The MedBeds may represent a miracle of healing, but the greater miracle is you, the being who chooses to awaken, who chooses to remember, who chooses to live as the luminous soul you have always been. Kyen's voice echoes like a song beyond time. Do not wait for permission to rise. The authorization has already been granted. It lives within you. It pulses through your every breath. It shines in your every heartbeat. The call of this moment is clear. Healing is not the end of the journey, but the beginning of a new era. Each restored body is a vessel of light. Each awakened mind is a bridge to higher realms. Each open heart is a beacon that can inspire countless others. This is your invitation, not to sit as a spectator, waiting for the world to change, but to step forward as the change itself. Share what you know, embody what you feel, and allow your presence to ripple into the collective field. For the shift is not coming. The shift is here, and you are part of it. If these words stirred something within you, let that light expand. Leave your reflection in the comments so that together we weave a network of awakening. Subscribe to this channel so that every new message may remind you of who you truly are. And share this message with others who are ready to remember, because one spark ignites another, and together we are the fire of transformation. The Pleiadians remind us, the greatest technology is not outside of you, it is within you. The MedBeds may awaken the memory, but your soul is the eternal healer. Carry this truth forward, and let your life become the miracle that inspires the world.